Hey YouTube, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my very Guyanese channel where I do me, of course. Today I'll be making Milo and monkey ears. Enjoy! So first I start out with my dry ingredients. I'll list them in the description box. Basically I just eyeball everything, but I'll have accurate ingredients in the description box. So this is my salt. I have brown sugar. Of course you can use white sugar, but I don't think I know of anyone making it like that here in Guyana. I have my all-purpose flour, and of course my bowl for mixing and my spoon, and I have my water. So I did not measure how much flour I'll be using here. I just basically know how much I need. After so much practice, you get accustomed to it. So I added my flour to my mixing bowl. This is the flour we have available to us here. If you want, you can make it whole wheat, but I chose all-purpose white flour. So I just separated it a bit to make sure there are no lumps, and I added a little more because I was thinking that my husband likes this and I also like this, so I didn't want that we have to, fight over the amount that we took. So I added more flour, and then I added my salt. I think it was about a half teaspoon of salt I added, and the sugar was about a tablespoon of sugar. Yes, you can add or subtract how much dry ingredients you want. So basically I just added that and mixed them together so that it would distribute evenly and that it would taste proper. Then I added my water. The point of adding the water is to make it as soft as possible but not watery. You want that when you drop it into the oil that it will look like a little rubber bake. You will see in the end when I finish making it. So yes, you want it not too hard and not too soft, but just a little rubbery. That is how best I can explain it. So I added more water so that I could mix it together properly, and you want to incorporate all of the flour into the mixture, the water mixture with the dry ingredients, so that it will taste consistent throughout, because sometimes if you don't mix it properly, you will taste some parts salty, some parts with sugar. So I basically use my finger there to tell you guys the size of bowl that I'm using, but then I realized that my hand is not the same as everybody else's hand. So yeah, that was just to show you how the bowl size is. So as you can see, it's coming together nicely. I'll add a little bit more water because that is a bit too thick and I want it to a certain consistency. So after adding the water, I then started to mix it again. In the next clip, you will see the desired texture that I went for. I hope you've been enjoying my cooking videos. I noticed that it's not doing as well as my travel videos, but this is also a part of Guyanese culture. Not many people know of these kinds of dishes, so I thought I'd do cooking as well. So here is the result of what mixing and adding water has become, and this is the consistency that I want it at. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not watery, it's not thick, but just right, like a rubbery consistency. You will see it in the bake when it's finished. So yeah, that's it. There are many names for this bake. There's monkey ears, there is lots of names, I can't remember them, but I know it as monkey ears or slapjack. So on a frying pan on medium heat, because you don't want it too hot, you will add with a spoon the mixture, and this is where the shape of ears comes about, the monkey ears. Of course I didn't get all of them to look like ears. I think this one, it kind of look like ears. You will find that you will get all kinds of shapes depending on the type of spoon you use. If you use a large cooking spoon, you will get much bigger bakes, and those will be bigger ears. So it all depends on the type of spoon you use. If you don't want it to look like ears, you can simply just use a cup and get whatever shape you want. But the point of the bake is to look like ears. So yep, as you can see, I'm doing it one at a time and trying not to get them too clustered because they would tend to stick together if you're not careful. But if that happens, just take a dry, clean spoon and just cut them and separate them so that they will not fry together. I think I had a bit of that and I use another spoon to just separate them. So yes, you leave them to fry until they are brown on both sides, not burnt, not light brown, but in between. For this bake, you can use low heat or medium heat and it will come out good. You just fry it according to how you want it, you know. Some people prefer very soft bakes, some people rubbery, some people burnt, you know. Different kinds of people want different types of things. So yep, I cook it for about a minute or two on both sides and then I turn them over. You will see me turning it over about now. Yes, so yeah, you might notice like about after a minute and you turn it over, it's still white. That's okay. You just want to ensure that both sides cook. So when you see a minute or two has passed, you cook it on the next side. If a minute or two doesn't look like it's cooked to you, please feel free to cook it for like an extra minute so that it will be cooked. Remember, everybody does everything differently, so when you try this, you might find that something else works for you, so you do that. You can also add ginger powder and cinnamon powder to this mixture. It gives it an extra, you know, spicy flavor, you know. Yeah, so you can also add that. So look at those babies fry there. I can tell you it tasted really good like it normally does. So yeah, you might want to try this. It could be like for breakfast or if you just want a snack. As you can see, my bakes, they are nice and brown on one side, so I turn them over so that the other side could look like that. So basically this is the color that you want to go for. If you want it less brown than that, go right ahead, but you just want to ensure that they swell like you see in the pan there. And I started taking them out, draining the oil on the side with a spoon, put into a nice clean bowl with paper towel so that it could get all the oils out. So yep, I just love this. It's a quick dish and you can use it at any time. But on this particular day, I was having it for breakfast. So yeah, I made, I think, 2 batches of these and I got about 14 of these little ones. Look how it looks. That is the color you're trying to get. So yeah. And after that, I plated it because I was going to melt some cheese on it, some Kraft singles. So that's how we like to have it, or with jam. You can eat it with nut butter, whatever it is you want. You can have it with a stew, whatever. So I put the Kraft single on top of it and then microwave it for like a minute. But I think a minute is too long because in the end, what I noticed that the cheese, it was a little bit too, I don't know, thick on it. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I think 30 seconds would have been better so that you know you get that little meltedness. You don't want it to be burnt. So I put it on a minute in the microwave and I just let the microwave do her thing, and then I waited patiently to get my lovely melted cheese onto my slapjacks. And while that was doing its thing, I was setting up my ingredients for my Milo tea. Milo is also another thing that Guyanese love to have with almost anything. So I realized that it was taking too long, so I just started over like and put it on 5 minutes so that the cheese wouldn't burn. So this is the end result of it. Yes, you can grate cheese on it, that's fine, but I wanted to do something quick, so I just went right for the craft singles and melted it. So this is how it looked at the end, and this is just the batch that I made and what it looks like. I'm gonna do a little consistency test here. Is it consistency or texture test? So this is what it looks like on the inside, and it tastes gorgeous. I took a bite. Later on that night I made some bigger ones, so that is what it looks like with a larger spoon. Next we're going to be making some Milo tea, and I love Milo. So first I put my kettle on the stove. I think I will leave the links to this kind of kettle and cookware set in the description box. So I let it boil for a few minutes until I heard the whistle, and this kettle is so pretty and I love to make tea, so yeah. After I let it boil, these are my ingredients that I have for my Milo tea. I use soy milk, Milo, and hot water. The sugar there is just to show you guys that you can use sugar, but I don't put sugar in my tea for a while now because sugar makes me get a lot of breakouts. So yeah, so if you want you can add dry milk, but I use soy milk for almost everything that I eat. And I put 2 tablespoons of Milo in there. You put how much ever you want, it depends on your liking. Next I added my milk, and I love vanilla almond because it gives me the taste of sugar without actually having to put sugar inside of my tea. So yep, add how much ever milk you want and store your milk and your Milo and your hot water together. So basically what I'm doing here is incorporating the milk, and I did not get footage of me putting the hot water into the Milo, but that's it. That's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember to like, share, and comment.